Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your friend Jay Burrow back with you for another Minecraft video, and today I am pumped because we are playing a new game on Happy Bedrock. Happy Bedrock was once an up-and-coming server in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It used to get 50 to 100 players and growing on a daily basis. But now, I'm sure only a few of you even know what I'm talking about. Today, I will be breaking down my history with Happy Bedrock and why the server seemingly disappeared from existence. But before we get into the video, I need you guys to hit the subscribe button. If the button is red, turn it gray, it would mean a lot. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So I started playing Minecraft about 3 years ago, and for several months, I would usually play on a popular server that you may know of called Broken Lens. That is until July 2018 when I discovered a little known server called Happy Bedrock. If I'm not mistaken, it was averaging around 5 to 10 players a day at the time. Obviously, not many people were playing on the server, and that was because it only had Skywars. But as the months passed, they started adding new games, features, and staff, including me, to the server. The transformation the server underwent over the months was pretty incredible. They went from having just Skywars to adding games like Free-for-All, Duels, UHC, Bed Wars, and my personal favorite, Zombie Infection, a game that is similar to playing tag, if you will. Heck, they even had their own version of Hypixel Says at one point, and it was called Bedrock Says. A lot of things kept the server fresh, including changing the lobby map like Anakin changes lightsabers, and random updates to Skywars involving Hypixel maps and even a Broken Lens copy. And obviously, being able to maintain all the other games while keeping the server updated was super impressive to witness, especially for a smaller server. So in early 2019, I became a moderator on the server. Obviously, that meant I could teleport to any player and ban hackers whenever I spotted one. I enjoyed banning hackers so much that I made a video about it. But anyway, the ban system was solid compared to other servers, especially since I played the server about 3 hours a day. I would ban around 10 hackers a day, and my fellow staff mates also did a great job keeping the server as clean as they could. But around the same time I became a mod, things began to take a turn for the worst for the server. The server was still going strong, getting around 50 to 100 players a day. However, the server was getting multiple DDoS attacks that would cause it to lag really badly. The owner and developer had to constantly shut down the server to make whatever adjustments were needed, and then they would restart the server. Despite all this, the attacks continued. I do have speculation on who is behind this, but this video is not about exposing anyone, and I'm not about that personally, so I will leave it up to you to speculate. So, on just another day in April 2019, I tried logging onto Happy Bedrock and I was redirected to a server called Nether Games. In my confusion, I asked the owner in the Happy PE Discord staff chat what had happened. I was told that the developer had left the server, and since there were no other developers, Happy Bedrock would, quote, merge with Nether Games. This was a pretty shocking and sudden move. Just the previous day, things seemed normal, and suddenly the favorite server of a lot of people, including me, was absorbed by a larger server. But what about my staff position? What happened there? Well, all Happy PE staff were going to be hired onto the Nether Games staff team and be trained there. I did try it for a week. I even trained with Mama5D, but the loss of Happy PE was too devastating for me at the time, so I resigned from my trainee position with Nether Games. After that, a lot of players went to Nether Games, but most of them branched away to other servers such as Hyperlands or a small featured server called The Hive. Happy PE was gone for good, I thought. About a year later, in April 2020, I heard a random out of nowhere announcement that the server was back online with a new minigame. Not believing it at first, I tried logging on and lo and behold, the server was indeed back. The only difference is that my favorite games were nowhere to be seen. The only game on there at the time was called Beacon Defender, which was a combination of Bed Wars and UHC where you would gather resources until it was time to go break the other team's beacon. The game was pretty slow paced in the beginning, but the amount of action that would take place after the wall dropped made this game a solid one. Beacon Defender was only up for a week, but it was replaced by Skywars, so very few people were unhappy about that decision. About a month later, Happy PE released its own version of the popular Hypixel game The Bridge. It immediately became more popular than Skywars. Unfortunately, the server in general was too buggy for me, so I stopped playing on it for good. That is until a few days ago. I logged onto the server to see how it was doing, and Unfortunately, as expected, there was no one online, and it wouldn't even let me into games without a higher rank. I found out later that the games were actually under maintenance, and shortly after I left the server, Skywars and The Bridge were both reopened. Now with that being said, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on both open minigames. So the Skywars hit me in the nostalgic feels, because when I queued into the game, the waiting lobby was the old main lobby from the summer 2018 days when I first started making videos on the server. This is the original lobby. What the heck? This is so cool. The most glaring thing I noticed was almost every player was either on iOS or Android. Now that's not surprising considering the lack of popularity that the server has, but comparing to how things were in 2018 to 2019, it was pretty lacking. Now the game itself has some weird characteristics. Chests have strange armor loot that ranges from leather to iron, and there's no bows. Another thing I noticed is how quickly I got hackusated by a Windows 10 player. I guess that's what happens to you when you PvP on the Hive. Now for the Bridge game, it didn't change too much from when I reviewed it in May 2020, but one thing I can't stand is that the spawn cage doesn't despawn, leaving me unable to leave my base on a direct route, but rather one I have to make myself. Outside of that, it's just another generic Bridge game that can easily be topped by Hyperlanes or Nether games. Before I give my final thoughts, I want to stress the point that this video is not a malicious shot at Happy Bedrock. I just thought it was a very interesting story to share considering how unique the circumstances were and the controversy surrounding it. With that being said, my overall thoughts on the server are that I don't believe it can ever get back to the point where it was at. The minigames at the time of their release in 2018 and early 2019 felt so fresh, and getting that fresh feel is something that very few servers accomplished in 2020. And just to go off topic for a second, the Hive happened to be one of the servers that successfully accomplished this. Now, do I think that the merger with Nether Games should have happened? No, I don't. Am I upset about it anymore? Not really. I wish nothing but the best for Happy Bedrock to get back to the point where they were at before the merger. But until that happens, my thoughts above still stand. And with all that being said, I think that will do it for the video. If you enjoyed and want to see more, don't forget to leave a like on the video. And as I said at the beginning, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm gonna go now and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, everybody.